As we bring the current outbreak under control and continue to speed up vaccinations, we will be able to get our reopening plans back on track. The key is to open up at the correct juncture.
Ours will be a controlled opening. We are not going to do a big bang, because predictably things will then blow up.
And there's one step we're all looking forward to. If borders reopen in September, fully vaccinated travellers won't have to serve SHN when they return. This is the Straits Times Newsnight. Good evening, I'm Chow Suen. In Parliament today, a roadmap for Singapore's COVID-19 strategy was laid out. Ministers saying that Singapore must reopen in carefully controlled steps, unlike in other parts of the world.
Some countries like the UK have declared a Freedom Day recently, where all social restrictions are lifted all at once. Others like Israel and Netherlands open up and saw sharp increases in infections and hospitalization and have to dial back very quickly. Ours will be a controlled opening. We are not going to do a big bang, because predictably things will then blow up.
There is no need to wait for everyone to be vaccinated before we begin to open up. That would mean holding back the entire reopening timeline until much later in the year, which is not tenable. So what is our approach? Let me explain. We will synchronize our reopening with our vaccination coverage, not just of the overall population, but also amongst our seniors who are the most vulnerable. And we will do so in a series of controlled steps.
Minister Wong then laid out Singapore's next steps. In about a week or so, there will be a review of the situation to see if current measures can be eased before the Phase 2 heightened alert period ends on August 18th. By early September, we expect to vaccinate about 80% of our population with both doses, allowing for a further reopening, which could include travelling without the need for SHN at a hotel. Minister Wong also laid out what we can expect at the next two milestones. In early August, if the clusters are under control and hospitalization rates remain low, Singapore will be able to ease some measures. But he stressed that the easing will be differentiated and extended only to vaccinated persons, because they are much better protected against the effects of the virus. Activities you will need to be fully vaccinated for would include attending events or religious services involving over 100 persons, dining in or working out in a gym.
What is clear to the multi-ministry task force and our medical advisors is that we should be very careful about lifting restrictions when a significant proportion of our people are still not fully vaccinated, especially our more vulnerable seniors. While other countries may have come to terms with a certain level of COVID-19 cases and even deaths, this is not the choice we want to make in Singapore. Here, we look out for one another and we take care of each other.
Early September is the next major milestone. Minister Wong said that we expect to vaccinate about 80% of our population with both doses by then. We will then be able to ease the restrictions further, including allowing larger groups to get together, especially if they are fully vaccinated. And we can even look forward to travelling again.
We will also begin to reopen our borders, especially for vaccinated persons to travel. We will start by establishing travel corridors with countries or regions that have managed COVID-19 well and where the infection is similarly under control. So fully vaccinated persons will then be able to travel to these countries or regions without needing to serve the full 14-day stay-home notice in a hotel when they return. Depending on the risk level of the country they visit, we will either replace the SHN with a rigorous testing regime or shorten the SHN to 7 days at home. And this will allow vaccinated persons to travel more freely.
Those who are not vaccinated can still travel, but will be subject to the prevailing SHN requirements. And in a sign that travel is gradually recovering, 9 in 10 Singapore Airlines and Scoot pilots and 8 in 10 cabin crew are back in the skies, flying at least once a month. That's about 2,200 pilots and about 6,500 cabin crew who are back in their uniforms. SIA Group is expected to reach about 33% of its pre-COVID-19 passenger capacity by the end of this month, up from 28% last month. Now, giving an update on the KTV cluster and the abuse of the so-called boyfriend-girlfriend category. Home Affairs and Law Minister K. Shanmugam revealed that once Singapore's unilateral opening with Vietnam was suspended in February, the boyfriend-girlfriend category was scrapped the next month because it was being exploited. The first case detected in the KTV cluster was a Vietnamese woman on a short-term visit pass who entered Singapore in February via the familial ties lane, sponsored by her Singaporean boyfriend.
So we created this category, boyfriend-girlfriend, during a pandemic last year, October, because we wanted to be compassionate. Now, if you wanted to rank the organizations in terms of compassion, I don't think most people will put ICA at number 1 on the list. But, and MHA will not usually be accused of being the most compassionate either. But we did want to try and be compassionate and helpful because of the number of appeals. And people want their loved ones to come in, and we want to try and help. But if the system is abused, then we have to stop it. If it's mutated, we have to stop it.
And now taking a look at the COVID-19 situation here, 135 cases were confirmed today, 129 locally transmitted and 6 imported. Of the local infections, 101 are linked to previous cases and 28 are currently unlinked. And as Singapore gears up to live with the coronavirus, all households here will receive self-test kits progressively. Antigen rapid test or ART kits, which are now widely available at retailers, are being distributed to households and will be rolled out first to those near large clusters. Now, I've tried these ART kits and they couldn't be simpler to use. In Olympic action today, Singapore's Feng Tianwei is through to the last 16 of the women's singles in table tennis after beating Spain's Maria Schell. The world number 9 got off to a slow start, losing the first game. But she stormed back to take the next 4 games, claiming victory in 46 minutes. Feng won 2 Olympic bronze medals in the singles and team events in London 9 years ago. And she was a key member of the team that won silver in 2008 in Beijing. And Singapore flag bearer Loh Kian Yew won his first group match in straight sets against Aram Mahmood of the refugee Olympic team. Loh will play Indonesia's world number 7 Jonathan Christie on Wednesday to decide who progresses to the last 16. And all eyes will be on swim star Joseph Schooling when he makes his first appearance in the Tokyo pool on Tuesday in the 100 meters freestyle. Ahead of the race, he spoke to our sports correspondent, Sazali Abdul Aziz.
I had the opportunity to speak to him earlier today, and he sounds a confident man. No one needs to tell him that his times have not been among the world's best this year, but he sounds like he's out to prove a point. He's confident in his own preparation and his own ability, and he says mentally he's better prepared for these Olympics than probably any other international meet he has had previously. He will swim in the 100-meter freestyle heats tomorrow night. The big race for him will be on Thursday night when he swims in the 100-meter fly heats, which is also the event he won 5 years ago in Rio, of course.
And just look at that smile. Momiji Nishiya of Japan making history as the first Olympic women's street skateboarding champion. And she's only 13 years old. In a stunning performance, Nishiya produced 3 excellent tricks to score highly in the second half of the competition, beating another 13-year-old Reza Lil of Brazil, who took the silver. Nishiya's victory comes a day after teammate Yuti Horigome took gold in the men's street skateboarding contest. For complete coverage of the Olympic Games, including the medal tally, get all the latest news and updates on our microsite, straitstimes.com/Tokyo Olympics. And that wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Keep safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.